She was dreaming. Charlotte had always been able to tell when she was sleeping, and this time was no different. She stood at the edge of the forest, facing the only home she had known. The sun blazed down with an abnormal amount of heat as she walked toward the house. The long grass crunched under her feet, the brittle blades swishing against the hem of her nightgown. Hot wind blew through the clearing, whispering in Charlotte's ear and tugging strands of hair free from her braid as she came to the door. She reached out to turn the knob, but froze when a scream sounded from somewhere in the distance. Charlotte spun on her heel with a gasp and gazed out into the clearing, the grass swaying in the breeze. There was no further sign that anyone was in trouble. Everything appeared normal, apart from the strange, steady heat burning her face and hands. So why was her head shouting a warning? And what was that feeling creeping up the back of her neck? The wind picked up, swirling around Charlotte with a growing cacophony until it tore at her skirts and screamed with the force of a gale. The door at her back shuddered under the power of the gusts, shaking so violently that Charlotte feared it would break. The wind hurled out cinder and ash from the forest, lighting fire to everything Charlotte knew and loved. "What's happening?" she cried. "Charlotte!" Charlotte sucked in a startled breath and opened her eyes, her heart thundering in her chest. "Charlotte, fire!" Karina stood in the doorway of Charlotte's bedroom, face pale and feet bare. She wore a white nightgown, the color a stark contrast to her vibrant hair. What was she doing there? Karina almost never awoke in the middle of the night. "Wake up! We have to get out of the house before it reaches us." Charlotte pushed herself to her elbows as her sister's words registered she wasn't dreaming. This was real. "Are you certain?" Karina nodded. The rest of her sister's words were lost on Charlotte as she got to her feet and stared out the window. "No, it can't be."